introduction, and a very good afternoon to everyone. Well, the stage is always set. Start with some owl talks. So these are all owl lovers, and I'm very happy that we can talk about more about owls. So owl things, wise and wonderful, is what I believe. Let me ask you at the end of the talk if you can also, would you agree with me? So this is, I'm with a scientist with Wildlife Research and Conservation Society. We are based in Pune. And I can tell you one thing very clearly, that the owls would have seen us far many more times than we see them. You see this picture. This brownfish owl had just one eye on me. You know, I love this photo because the way it thought it was hiding from me, and I somehow got this shot. So today what we'll talk about is a school of owls. Let me take you to the owl evolution, some owl algebra, so algebra, geography of owls, some history, some biology, and then owl chemistry. So yes, so let me tell you how owl evolved. I think it's a very smart decision to be owls. They have particularly chosen a niche for themselves, when they were all raptors, which are diurnal. And there is this owl which is, you know, they have learned to be very extra special, and let's see how. But before that, so in 1738, Linnaeus placed them with other raptors like vultures and kestrels and eagles. As we grew in evolution and molecular biology, they later on found that no, owls are more like the nightjars, which are nocturnal for that reason. And very surprisingly now, from 2006, a new classification of owls placed them with ospreys. One of the reasons is because, you know, they can extend their claws and they can capture fishes. Yes, that much I can understand, that they are similarity to osprey. But even to close to parakeets and rollers, now that is quite surprising. Why would owls be placed close to them? But that is phylogeny of owl evolution. So again, you see how they've made a very special place for themselves. So owl geography, let's come to geography. Owls are found everywhere, all the continents. As you can see, America, Europe, Asia, Australia, Africa. There is one continent they are not found. Anyone? Yeah, sorry? Yeah, so of course that is Antarctica. They are not found in Antarctica. There's one, I mean, any guesses for why they would not be found in Antarctica? And you're all smart, intelligent people. I don't have to ask this, but anybody want to would just say something? Yeah, there's no prey for the owl. It's too cold there, and there are all mainly land or fishing animals are there, like penguins and other pelagic birds. But owls survive a lot on rodents, small birds, which they could not find. But so that's why they are missing for Antarctica. But there are owls in Arctic. Anyone knows which owl is found in Arctic? Yes, the snowy owl. This is the Hedwig of Harry Potter. I have not seen it, but I want to see it once. Very beautiful, very expressive. Right. So let's go to the owl maths little bit. So there are about 225 species of owls in India, in the world. So they are segregated in two main groups. There is Tyto owls, which have this heart face shaped, the barn owls, and there are 17 species in the world. And then there are true owls. So true owls have this different color. They have not a disc like this, like the barn owl, and they are different in colors also. So they are strigidae. So as you can see that these are the differences in owl main species, and they come in all sizes. Owls come in all sizes. So as you can see, from small XS to XL. So you have extra small owls, then small, medium, large, and XL. So no other birds of prey, they come in this one family or say one order, come in so many sizes. And that's why another very fascinating thing about owls. So if you talk about the smallest and the largest, so in the world we have the elf owl, which is the smallest, it just comes in your hand. and which is found in Arizona, and the great gray, which is about 84 centimeters, and it's pretty big, found in North America. Now, in the counterparts in India, we have the pygmy owlet, which is about 15 centimeter, which is also found in northeast India, and the rock eagle owl, which is in the peninsular India, about 65 centimeters. So once upon a time, we had some, these are the owls which have gone extinct now. So this is called the laughing owl. So this was found in New Zealand, and it was lost because of, so these are the owls which are found in islands. So they were not arboreal, they were more ground hunting owls. And that is why when they introduced cats and weasels, so they got predated by them, like just much like dodos. They did not fly much. So they did not have the ability to fly and rescue themselves. So they lost, they were now extinct. And there are other species also, the reunion owl, the Roderick's little owl, the Mauritian barn owl. So all of them are actually found in small islands. And that's where they did not have any other predator, they lost the fear of humans. And that is how they are extinct now. And currently we have some of these species which are critically endangered. So there are, I have already mentioned them, so they are mostly found in New Zealand, they are found in South America, Brazil, and 22 species are threatened, near threatened, and 19 are vulnerable. There are 12 endangered species of owls currently. So one is the northern spotted owl, and that is owl which is found in the US. Burrowing owl also is found in the US. Snowy owl we already discussed about. Madagascar owl and masked owl, and we have one which is the forest owlet, which is currently in the endangered. It was critically endangered when it was discovered. It's a very interesting story, maybe you should just read it up sometime. It's got a thriller kind of a story, how it was discovered, rediscovered, and then what happened. So currently we are working on the species in Gujarat, Maharashtra and Madhya Pradesh. So I'll talk about it as I go ahead. And so now talking about owl biology, yes, they are built for night. And why? So they are, so this is like, they are one of the raptors which are made a niche for themselves just to avoid diurnal raptors and protect themselves. But in the process, they've got adaptations for night life. And those are the flight, the vision, the hearing, and the camouflage, and the vocalization. So silent flight at night, when the nights are silent, the owls can fly absolutely silent. And if you've seen a barn owl flying, you would know it's like a ghost whizzing past you. Any other bird, if you see, they flap their wings. They flap their wings and the sound comes. But owls have such mechanism in their wing structure that's like when the air passes through, it's like a brush structure, and it's like a comb serrated structure. So when the air passes, there is no noise. And why? Because then they can hunt at the night, they hunt the predators at night when it's very silent. So there is no sound of an owl flying. And that is what has inspired wind turbine noises to make quieter technology trains in Japan or other countries where they are making this fast trains to see if there is no sound. So owls inspired technology is also now coming up. Owl vision, that is amazing vision that they have. So if you have noticed that owls have binocular vision, just much like us. We have forward facing eyes. It's called binocular vision. So that is how we can, like us, even we can focus on an object. So owls can focus on its prey very well because it can see and it can focus in front of the object it has. So as you can see, the vision, the field of vision is much more in the owls. And if you compare it to the other raptors, like an eagle, so they have lateral vision. They are on the side. The eyes are not front facing, but they are on the sides. So that is very good for detecting predators. So eagles and eagles or other raptors, they have side facing eyes, so they can detect predators which is coming from the side of it. That is very beneficial for them. For owls, it's for detecting the food which is in front of it, because it's a predator again, and it's a very short predator, and once it catches you, then yes, you are dead. The prey is dead. And they also have false eyes, which no other raptors have. So this is the picture of a pygmy owl. So these are feathers. It is actually not their eyes, but it gives an impression of the eye at the back of its head. So only owls can do this. And they also have more rods than cones. We all have rods and cones in our eyes. And this picture when I took it, so when the flash goes in the owl's eye, it reflects it back, and that is a kind of a membrane behind the retina, which is called tapetum lucidum, and that picks up all the lights and reflects it back, so it enables it to see much better in the dark. So that is how, again, they have shown some speciality. Owls can rotate their head, this about 270 degrees. It's not 360 degrees. They do not do that, but yes, up to 270 degrees. And I don't think none of us can do that. No other birds can do that, but owls can do that. And you can see this pictures. These are real pictures. These are not AI generated. And this also. So how owls can do that where other birds cannot do that? Because they have more vertebrae in their neck, and the blood flow which goes to their neck is it gets restricted when the owl twists its head or bends it down. Please do not try this, because whatever yoga or the sessions, these can be dangerous for us humans, but owls can do this. Very versatile. And earlier when somebody talked about hearing, owls have asymmetrical ears. Like we have ears on the same position. The owls have one which is slightly high and the other which is slightly lower. Why? Because that enables it to hear and understand from where the sound is coming. So when we are listening to something we want to hear, we sometimes do this because we want to understand what. So we try to make or funnel our ear or position the ear such a way that to understand how far the sound is coming. So owls can do this very well. Plus they have facial disc, like you can see this disc around it. The disc, we have antennas to capture the sound if you've used parabola. So very similarly, owls can do it with their own head. So with this kind of radiating feathers or design or plumage, they can capture the sound very well. So now let's go think about at a night what happens in the forest. And this is when I saw this, I have taken this photo, and it was one of the beautiful, several evenings when you see and the owl decides to show itself. So let's take some hearings. Let's just imagine that you are there, and can I play this call? You can tell me what call if you know. Anyone? So this was the call of the mottled-wood owl. This is the mating call, and owls have this kind of very eerie, scary, weird calls, while all other birds are very musical calls. So again, see how owls are very different. I'll play the other call now. Anyone? Sorry? Yes, copse owl, that's right. Jungle owlet, sound like a tennis ball which is falling. Sorry, it's not playing the way I wanted it. I'm sorry, I missed some of the calls, it's just going ahead. Okay, so this owl, anyone? I'm sure you all know. I don't have to ask. Spotted owlet, yes, correct. Scops. This is the oriental scops. Yes, and you all are owl birders, so I don't have to really do this, but just to set some interesting question. Mottled-wood owl, that's right. Eagle owl. We have barn, jungle, and this is the forest owlet, right. So we've been working on an assemblage of all these owls in central India. And yes, they are. So as I said, owls are unique. I think I already established, and I hope you agree, that they have made a very different place for themselves. So, normally, so I'll set up a few more evidence-based talk about this, that in human beings, normally in a couple, husband and wife, the man would be taller and the woman will be slightly shorter, right? But here again, owls will show differences. So in all these pictures of owls, the larger bird is the female, right? So in both all the species, and most birds of prey and owls have the large, the female is larger size. And why would that be? Anyone? So one of the reason what the research has found is that a male has to be smaller so that it can go through, it can fly, because the wing loadings have to be smaller for the male so that it can hunt effectively during the breeding season, because the female sits on the nest and the male gets the food for it. So that if the male can get protein rich food during the breeding season, then it is very good for the family, it can come up very well. So one of the reason why the males are smaller is because of their efficiency in hunting, especially during the breeding season. This is what the research says. But we looked at the forest owlet when I was studying them, and I looked at, and they did not really show any major difference. There was no difference in male and female. Now if you can see this picture, this is male and female forest owlet, and I showed you the previous photos. You really cannot make out that the female is much larger or visibly larger than the male. So one of the reasons what we have come up with from our research is that the forest owlet feeds largely on the rodents and not so much on the birds. They do take little smaller birds, but the male does not have to really go hunt birds for it, and maybe that is the reason that they are almost of the same size. Now you can see these owls here, they are ears, we say the owls with ears, but actually here also they are faking it. Actually these are not ears, these are just ear tufts, and that just makes them look bigger. As I already told you, owls have ears, like small ears, ear openings by the side of its ear, but these are not ears. This just makes them look big, and more. It makes them look powerful, and it helps them to camouflage. If a bigger predator comes, then they want to puff up themselves and make look bigger and intimidating. So you see this jungle owlet, this picture I had took, it has really fluffed up his ear, the head. It's like a big buffo on the head, and it's trying to show that I'm much bigger than what you think I am. I'm not that small. And the other strategies they use is owls can get inside the cavities very quickly, and they can so this is a diurnal owl, forest owlet, and all the diurnal birds of prey, all the eagles and birds and the kites are after them. And I have seen the way they fight these birds, the bigger predators, very valiant. I must say that, that the small owl will attack the kite or the buzzard. The size is like almost 1/3, but the way, and it's always almost successful. But sometimes the young one gets killed. And owls have a very interesting waste disposal system. So the defecation is, they make vomit balls. It's called pellets. So whatever is not digested, it comes out from their mouth in form of pellets. So I'll show you a video of this. You can see this video. Just watch carefully. So this is a forest owlet. You saw it, I hope it. You saw one ball coming out. So whenever it feeds on rats and the reptiles, insects, so whatever parts are not digested, like hair of the rodents or exoskeleton of the insects, all that gets rolled up into a ball and it comes out. And that is what is a great treasure for us. We pick up all this and we study the diet of owls. So here again, owls have a very different system of defecation. And why is it? Because they fly, owls. They want to keep their body weight much less. So they have done away with a few organs in their body. So here there is this forest owlet. I just said they do not kill birds, but look at this. So this is during the breeding season. This bird has managed to kill a parakeet much bigger than that, and it is taken it to the nest. So, and this one, it's taken a baby, a hare baby inside the nest. So these are small looking owls, but if you look at their talons, they are like they are extremely powerful, and they can be very dangerous. Even for us, when I am handling it, I know that they can be really sharp weapons. This is the brown fish owl feeding. So it's got a rodent for the baby, the young one, and in one gulp, it will just finish it. That's it. So they do not even tease it apart. Many other birds tease apart feathers, they remove, or they remove small pieces. Owls regurgitate everything at one go. So we have studied the diet spectrum of owls. There are some 8 owls in one area, but none of them interfere with each other because they all have partitioned their resources so well. So if you see from large eagle owl, barn owl, mottled and brownfish owl, they rely largely on rodents or shrews. And if you see the smaller owls, they will take more of insects, reptiles, birds. So this is how they have diversified their food or their prey so that they are able to coexist in the same habitat. So we have also taken out a technical manual, me with my other colleagues, and we have written how you can identify this prey based on the pellets, whatever prey remains you find, and this manual is available on our website. You just have to write a mail and the PDF will come to you. So if you are interested in doing further research, you can also look at this kind of resources. So coming to owl chemistry, yes, so this is going to be the breeding pair of owls when they sit so close to each other. Otherwise, they will be very territorial and they will be sitting a little afar from each other. The breeding season comes and the pair starts coming closer, and that's when you know that this pair is going to mate and nest. And they also have a nuptial gift. They have a wedding gift. So here, the male gets a rat for the female, and you see what happens. So female is not showing much interest. So, she is like quite indifferent. And she's calling out, and she went, and ultimately the male just consumed this entire rodent and said, okay, I'll try next time. And they did next time, and they did paired up. So we also have done some telemetry of owls, of large and small owls. So I just wanted to show you this film. That film can be played? It's not loading? Okay, fine. I think we'll have to skip the film. The small clip was there. It's not played. So this is how we found, these are all tracks of owls. These are radio tagged owls in one area. If you see, there were 16 individuals, and how they are crisscrossing their paths. So these are all monitoring tracks from satellite, from the tags, GPS tags which we've got, to understand how they share their resources. And I already talked about how they share the food, and now how they share the space also. So what are the factors which affect the survival of owls? Like why are owls in danger? So, they have natural predators. So now if you see this crested hawk eagle is trying to get to the young ones, the chicks inside the nest. And it can, and so once if it cannot, then when the chicks are out, it can definitely predate. So these are natural predation pressures. There is this palm civet. So in large, like barn owl's nest, It had gone inside once, and we heard a lot of, there were 6 young chicks were there inside. And it stayed there whole night and finished, and he came and finished the entire brood. But so these are natural predators. I know we cannot understand, I mean, we can really not help anything. But if the owls do not get appropriate size cavities, because they don't make cavities, they are secondary cavity nesters. They depend on cavities which are made by woodpeckers or which are made by falling off the branch. If the cavity opening is too big, then it is an invitation for the predators. So they always go for a smaller size cavities, and these are the strategies for survival. And when in case the trees with cavities are broken or cut illegally or legally, then owls have lost their houses. This is what I wanted to say, that where we are working, so we are looking at the habitat loss. So large trees, they are cut, they are girdled for agriculture expansion, and these are real threats because of which they are losing their habitat. The young ones are taken out from the nest. Forest fires, there are massive forest fires in central India, and because of which it also destroys the ground flora, fauna, the prey, the nesting trees also. Roadkills is a major threat to owls, because in the night they sit on the road to catch insects near the electric poles, or in the vehicle light they want to catch insects, just much like nightjars. And also electric lines which are going through, they get electrocuted. So these are very looming threats and real threats on the owls. Use of rodenticides. As the agriculture is increasing, when the rodenticides are increasing, because everyone wants more, and there's nothing wrong in that, but the method which we are using. So these are secondary poisons because they will first poison the rats, and the rats will be fed by owls, and these are non-target species which are also getting killed, and these are very serious concerns. So you can see these, I've taken this picture there, and these rats are killed because of the rodenticide. And such poisons, much like DDT, what has happened in earlier cases, and now what is happening with diclofenac. So this is also another threat. So what do people feel about owls? That owls are also revered or they are feared. So already owl worship is there. This is the Lakshmi's Vahan owl, and it's supposed to be the guardian, the custodian of wealth, and that is why people worship Lakshmi. And as you can see, the owl is the carrier of Lakshmi. So there is one of the belief is about owls being worship on good luck and good sign, but there are also massive owl trade which is going on. And people use it for sorcery, for superstition, for all kind of medicines. And this is an amazing report. If you get it, it's online by Traffic India way back in 2010. And it really shows that how owls are captured, and what are the trade, and what are the species, and what are the methods which are used, and why they are used. So owl medicine, so they think that, if grandmother owl is thought to come to those who need to let go of their part of life. So there are all kind of superstition and blind beliefs, and it's taking toll on these beautiful birds. So there are posters, awareness, which we are also working with, and we have taken out. So wherever we work, we are putting up posters that, please do not capture them, please do not use them for any sorcery. They are not any magic or they cannot do any black magic. And one other thing which we do continuously, we engage a lot with the forest department. We work with the staff, and here I had taken this staff with me, and that is when they told me that, we feel that this is the first time we are doing something on wildlife, because so far we have been just marking trees, cutting trees, plantation trees, which is also a very important part of the forest department. Also awareness among the territorial staff who are working in the reserved forest or not in the protected area or wildlife wing. If they are made aware of this, and that is a lot more contribution coming from them. We all very regularly hold workshops for the staff and the officers, and the happiness and the amazement is that you can see on their face when they saw the owl, which is supposed to be the endemic species which people come to see, but they had not seen it till then. And yes, so these are some of the things which I continuously engage with through my team. Somebody had asked about involving community. So we've started some work on where we are actually working with the ladies, and we've taught them some small handicraft items. So I'm wearing a pin which is actually made by my ladies who are working there. They paint it. So of course we train them in painting, making applique designs. So you can see these are some of the things which they have made. And we put it up on our website, and people pick it up for conferences, and it's really liked by people. And some of this income, the income goes to them, the ladies, and some of them are now very tied to our conservation programs. So they get the benefit that, when I tell them that don't cut that tree which has a hole or the nesting hole for the owl. See, for me, I live in a city. It doesn't make a difference to me if I tell them, but for them, maybe that tree brings them some kind of an income by cutting it. And if I just tell them that don't cut it, it does not have any major implications. But yes, then we give them some kind of a community involvement or ownership of the species which they share the landscape with. Then perceptions do change. And we have been working on this for quite some time. We have also have this Ullu Hamare Dost, not the other way around. Hamare Dost Ullu, aisa nahi hai. But Ullu Hamare Dost, that kind of a campaign where we are talking about all the species of owls and their importance in local language. And we have a lot more which is going on currently in central India. And with this, I'd like to thank people who have been supporting us, the organizations who have been supporting us. One of the major one is the Raptor Research and Conservation Foundation, of which Ravi Singh sir is one of the main lead. The Habitat Trust, the Peregrine Fund, Ministry, Department of Science, and we've been working very closely with the Forest Department of Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Gujarat, and they are the local support, and without which I don't think we can really implement so many things or so many initiatives. And and it's not me, I'm just talking, but I have a huge team, and our director Jayant Kulkarni, plus many researchers who have worked with us. And I would not have been able to do this work without them. I have named all of them, and then many more people, our field assistants, the pillar of our project. So I thank them all. And I would like to say that this is a very nice poem. I'm sure a few of you have heard it. A wise old owl lived in an oak. The more he saw, the more he spoke. The less he spoke, the more he heard. Why can't we be all like the wise old bird? And with this, I would like to thank the Birdwatchers Society for this amazing opportunity that I got called here and to talk to a very enthusiastic, learned audience, to Mr. Sujan, who has been a good friend very recently, but he invited me here and I've worked with him. It's always a pleasure. Going with him, learning new things. And of course, I met all the members here first time, and I'm very impressed with the kind of work which has been going on through the Bengal birds and the audience, all of you.
That owls are predators and they have these front-facing eyes for getting the prey. Eagles are also predators and at the top of the food chain.
So, yeah, so very interesting question. May I know your name, please?
My name is Indrajit Poya.
Okay, very nice question, Indrajit. So if owls have a very different hunting strategy, so they hover and they pounce. So they will be, if you see owls will be just sitting and watching out, for the prey to, so it needs to focus. So once it has found something, say a rat, it will just sit still. It will just focus on that one point. Okay, and then it will just go and pick it up. Whereas eagles, sorry, I said it wrong earlier. Eagles hover and owls will wait and pounce. So that is the difference. So when eagles are there, they will be looking at both the sides of the eyes, and they are also very aware of the predators which are coming. So owls will focus, and that is why it is a successful predator. And that is why it has this eyes, just like us. If you just put yourself that, when we want to see something, we'll be looking right ahead. We cannot see laterally like this. And we'll have to turn our head. So we cannot look like this, but eagles can do, and owls will look straight ahead.
talking about forest owlet. Have you ever seen cannibalism in forest owlet? Because I have read some data that forest owlet actually eats their offspring.
I've also read that paper. I know which paper you're referring to. I have not seen it. That is called chronism. So they feed on their chicks. So I have been monitoring nests and all for a long time now, but I have not seen that. So I cannot really comment on that.
Said about the sizes of male and female owls.
Yes.
So we can differentiate by sizes only, and in case the plumages are always the same, exact same, or there is some difference in plumages also. And another question is, I have seen a lot of photographers what we do by photography. Generally, nowadays they used to put searchlights on owls. So how harmful it is for them to have those lights being on nocturnal or diurnal? How harmful that searchlight for them is?
First question is that they do have certain plumage differences, but it's very light. You really can't make out unless you hold them in their hand. And even when you are sexing the birds, you can't really make out unless we see the brood patch, because I have captured and put tags, so that's why I know. So the difference maybe, the plumage difference is 19 to 20. It's not really much. You can't say much. Only the brood patch can tell you if it's a male or a female. Size differences, yes, but unless you see them together, you can't make out. So that is one thing. The second question you asked about the searchlight, yes, definitely it's harmful to the birds. Even the vocal, keep on playing calls, call broadcasting to get the good photo. I would really not advise for any birds for that matter, even for owls, because it really causes them a lot of stress. So the trend of nowadays, call playbacks or, putting a flashlight to get that picture, I would say it should be avoided, because that really creates a confusion in the birds and it creates stress in them.
Hi ma'am, that was a very insightful session. So particularly birders are always interested in our species. So one question that I want to ask, actually we were discussing and I have tried Googling it earlier also but couldn't find an answer. If we see the owl distribution map across the world, we would see that Asia has a huge number of owl species, and similar is with South America.
Right.
But in Asia, after India, in Southeast Asia, it gradually increases. If you go to Indonesia, Malaysia, so the Malay Peninsula, basically the Papua part section. So is there any particular reason that the distribution in this Malay Peninsula, because we have seen the frogmouth species also, they certainly increase, so
right,
they are quite similar. So any particular reason why these regions, they have such a high distribution?
Nice question. I thought I had put up a slide to talk about this, but maybe I skipped it. You're right. So tropical rainforests have many more species. The simple reason is that there is many more prey for them in that area. So as you know, that tropical forests have higher biodiversity. So they have far more number of rodents, insects, reptiles, which the owls can feed on. So that is corresponding to the owl diversity. And yes, as you rightly pointed out, after the Indonesia, Malaysia, these areas, India is one of the richer. It's about 36 species. So we come almost third in the owl diversity in India. So that is a good pat on our back that we can also harbor good diversity. I hope that we can continue to do so, because the kind of habitat loss which is happening, it's a major concern. And we as birders and youngsters or people who are working in this field, we should be aware of that. This is actually causing a loss of biodiversity. So we are, as of now, holding the third place in Asia, South Asia, but I hope we continue to do so.